Why should you be content with the person who's literally created the shitty reality that you're living in? And yes, I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about anyone else. This video is directed to you. In a world full of excuses, you need to be the man who takes personal responsibility. Personal responsibility for where you're at. That yes, I deserve to be where I'm at. I'm not going to blame the government. I'm not going to blame external things. Like, yes, maybe there are circumstances that you can control. Like an earthquake or a family member died, and I understand, but that is 1% of the people listening. 99% of you have deserved to be where you are now. Like literally, it is your fault that your mental health is not as good, that you're not making as much money. It is your fault that you don't have as much friends. It is your fault that you're not happy. It is your fault that you're not fulfilled. It is your fault. And that should give you freedom. That should give you like this feeling of relief that that's good. I don't know why in today's world everyone is scared of this. I've mentioned this to a few people, and some people even get resistance toward this idea of personal responsibility, like total responsibility for where you're at. I remember that when I uploaded my first around 20 videos on YouTube, I remember pulling up YouTube Studio and just checking the analytics. And I looked at the number and I saw 12 views, 15 views. And brother, the feeling that I felt was disappointment in myself. Even if I couldn't control it, I felt disappointed. I really took it to my heart. I really let it affect me because I was like, shit, like no one cares. No one cares about your videos. This is not even working. Because also most of the view count was me because I was refreshing the page, looking at the video. So most of it was even me. So I felt useless. Just imagine putting in some hard work, taking some time in your day and telling yourself, yeah, like I'm going to be a YouTuber. This is so cool. People are going to love me. And then one video after another, and you record and it's video 5 and you're like, yeah, it's the first few videos. It's video 10, it's video 15. And you're like at around the 20 mark and you're still like no one is watching you. No one cares about you. And that was very disappointing to me. And I got many glimpses of wanting to quit. Of just telling myself, yeah, like I think I'm going to quit. No one cares. It was so easy to do that at the time. But I have persevered, right? I wasn't a victim. Even though I felt disappointed, even though I felt mad at myself, all these emotions, I didn't let that stop me. And that's why I'm here. That's why you're listening to this video, because, I kept persevering. And something that flipped a switch, honestly, was that I deserved to be where I'm at. And it took a little time to understand this. I don't think I thought about this at the time. But now, in retrospect, this is a very amazing thing. It's refreshing to hear that you deserve to be where you're at. And at the time, at 20 videos, I deserved to get like 5 actual views. I deserve that pain. I deserve that disappointment. I deserve that. And why did I deserve that? Let me explain a concept that is very important. When you're chasing delayed gratification, you need to understand this. You need to understand this when you want to be more successful as a man. Okay, so you have to understand that success is transactional, right? Success it's not just magic. It is transactional. You put out to the universe, to the world, you put pain in exchange for that goal that you set, in exchange for success, right? You can call it success tax. It's a tax that the hardships, the pains that you need to put out, the effort, the resistance that you need to put out in order to get that goal, in order to reach that goal. It has to be done. And think of it like a scale, right? On one side is your success tax, right? So every time you work, every time you meet that resistance that you don't want to do the hard thing, but you do it anyway, right? You do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Every time you meet that, the success tax increases, right? And the scale goes up. You have more success tax, and it's very incremental. It's very, it's hard to view, because every time you show up to that workout and you didn't want to do it, it increases by like 0.000001. And then you do it again, and you record a video that you didn't want to, or you study for that test, or you start that business. Every time you do that little thing, and it's so little, it's barely noticeable, it increases. And on the contrary, every time that you do the instant gratification activities, every time you do the bad habit, every time you drink, every time you smoke, every time you fap, every time you watch porn, every time you eat the junk food, every time you go to sleep late, every time you wake up late, every time you do that, guess what happens to the scale? It reverses, right? It literally reverses. So on one side is the success tax. On the other side, it's the instant gratification that you put out and you do. And it's sad because you are where you are right now. And as I told you, you deserve to be there because of this formula, because you've put out probably more instant gratification than delayed, or, we can call it the success tax. It is just the laws of the universe. And the universe, you have to understand, is watching. God is watching. Every time you do the good act, every time you do the hard work, right? The hard work that you really feel resistant towards. You know what I'm talking about. There's one thing right now that you need to do, but you just feel so much resistance towards it. It's so difficult to do. And I have that too. And trust me, I have it with YouTube as well. Like, I love to speak. I love to be on the video, etc. I love to help you guys. But just getting here, I feel so much resistance. I feel so much resistance when I need to script a video. I feel so much resistance into just showing up and getting all this ready. But when I'm here, guess what happens to the scale? The 0.0001 has increased, and I'm putting more success tax to the universe. And the universe is watching. And over time, and this takes months, this takes years, you start deserving that goal that you set more and more and more. And it's hard to see because it's not like a daily thing that you see it. And that's why goals are not like a weekly thing. It takes time. Like real goals, difficult goals that you set for yourself, it's a very long-term game, and you have to understand that. It's a long-term thing. And so I think understanding this formula is very helpful in self-improvement. Because the more you put that success tax, the more that you deserve success. And most of you do not deserve success. And even I don't deserve success to a certain extent, because I know, and we all know, right? We can't lie to ourselves. We all know how much we've put out. For me, maybe it's more about business. It's more about other things. I know I have more. I need to give more. I need to do more. I need to put more effort. I need to meet more resistance. And God, or the universe, watches you every single day and sees, what is the scale looking like? Do you deserve this goal that you set for yourself? Because honestly, if you're not putting in the work, if you're not facing resistance every single day, just, that feeling where you even feel anxious to do that thing, you don't want to do it, but then you do it anyway, and it's that relief. If you don't feel that every single day, you're doing something wrong, and the universe is watching you every single minute. Success is not some weird thing that just happens. It's all very calculated, and it all comes to this formula. How much are you putting out there? How much success tax? How much effort are you putting? And you can't lie to yourself, because maybe you can lie to me, but you know the truth. You know the reality, right? So you're not entitled to anything unless you work hard for it, unless you put in the work. And a lot of people will take my first point about telling you that everything is your fault and that you've created this reality and you should take self-responsibility, they'll take this the wrong way and tell me, oh, this is dumb advice. I don't deserve to be where I'm at because of this thing, because my work or the government or my mom told me this. Bro, you're just coping. The second that you take self-responsibility, I'm telling you, it gives you a sort of freedom. And yeah, just like I told you in the story before, I didn't deserve to be where I'm at when I had 20 videos because I didn't put that success tax. But over time, I uploaded more videos. I put in more effort. I scripted more videos. I showed up and I didn't quit. And the universe was watching. I kept going. And it's been like 2 years. I kept going and I kept going and I kept going. And over time, I start to deserve it more, right? So the external goals or the sub count, for example, went up, obviously, right? So now we have more people watching the channel. But this was not by chance. This was all calculated. This was all based on the amount of success tax that I put out there. Because, and this is a mistake that a lot of people actually do, is they put a lot of work, right? They do a lot of good stuff, right? They face a lot of resistance to do the hard work, especially when they don't feel like it. But then they also do a lot of the instant gratification activities. And then it almost balances out. And then you're kind of stuck in this almost pattern where you're doing the work and then it's the same, and then you're stuck in this rut, right? We can say it's like a self-improvement rut or just a rut where you feel like you're taking action, but then shit, like this is happening again. I don't feel like I'm making any progress. So your goal is to obviously meet resistance as much as possible on a daily basis and reduce that instant gratification down to the low. And over time, this takes months, this takes years. You'll be deserving it more. My last message that I want to share with you, brother, is to stop being so weak. There are so many ways for you to be weak right now, to find excuses not to do the work, to blame other things, to not face resistance like I told you, to do the instant gratification activities. But don't come back to me and tell me, oh, I'm so confused why I'm not doing so well. I'm so confused why I'm making $0 per month. It's all about self-responsibility. And if you don't chase that delayed gratification activities right now, it is solely your fault and no one else's. I laid the plan and I showed you the formula. The formula is how much success tax are you going to put out there? And it's up to you. It is up to you, brother. I hope this video helped you. I'll see you next time. Peace.